Hey folks, Chad Faulkner here of Chad Ray's Consulting and Coaching, as well as contributing author for American Warrior Society website. What I want to talk to you today about is holsters. I get asked about holsters frequently when people want to talk about handguns and whatnot. The problem is people go to a gun store, they buy a handgun, and then a lot of times they'll purchase a holster right there. And gun stores honestly don't always have the best options for holsters. Some do, but some of the better options for holsters out there just aren't in stores. So what I'm going to do is go over, I'm not going to get real deep into holsters and carry inside the waistband versus outside the waistband or appendix carry, all those kinds of things. I'm just going to give you a few recommendations that I have as far as holsters and why I use the ones that I typically do. Okay, so to start with, I'll pull out the Crossbreed holster, and bear with me here. I know these are kind of hard to see. They're black. I had a black shirt on at first. I changed to a white shirt. I'm trying to make them as easy to see as possible. But I'll give you the name of each one. If you want to know more detail on it, you can look it up on their respective companies' websites. Okay, so this is the Crossbreed Super Tuck Deluxe. It is a hybrid holster. They were kind of the first ones to really get in the game with the hybrid holster. And what I mean by that is it has a leather backing and a Kydex front to it here. Okay, so the benefit there is it's comfortable. Some people aren't big fans of these. I've never had an issue with you. I've carried one of these in extremely hot environments in the Middle East for long periods of time, trained with them, no issue. I've carried them quite a bit back here, no issue. Now, to caveat that though, I don't often carry this holster unless I need the comfort level of it. And the reason for that is it's not my favorite from a speed of draw standpoint. It does sit really tight to the body and everything, and it's just not my favorite holster to draw from. But is it adequate, and do I trust my life with it? Yes. And I take a trip about twice a year. That's about a 12-hour drive, and you cannot beat this holster for the comfort level of it. I've worn Kydex and all before, and just for me and my body type, at the end of a 12-hour drive wearing Kydex, I'm going to have some red marks. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to shift and all those kinds of things. So that leather backing of the Crossbreed holster just can't be beat. Now, when you get these holsters, they give the option of having the full guard on it, which is it'll have a lot more leather that will be right here, or they have the combat cut option, which looks kind of like this. Now, what I did was I bought the full guard that had leather right here, and I cut it myself, used a Dremel tool, kind of smoothed it out and everything, and it's worked fine for me. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to kind of customize the cut and make sure it fit my hand and gun right, so that when I draw that, I'm not grabbing leather, I'm grabbing gun. Okay, again, best for comfort, but for everyday carry, I'm going normal everyday carry. I'm going more with Kydex, and I don't advocate for leather holsters. I want good solid rigidity in my holster, because I want to be able to reholster the gun as easily as I can draw it. And I have reasons for that, putting the gun away so that nobody shoots me thinking I was a perpetrator, things like that. But again, I won't talk too much about tactics, just about holsters. Okay, next company is going to be Raven Concealment Systems. Okay, and Raven Concealment Systems is one of the first and big players in the Kydex game. Been around for a long time, been doing it for a long time, and it's been quality from pretty much from day one. They were very, very hard to get when I started getting them. Now you can get them fairly quickly. But the Raven Concealment Kydex holster is just going to be a good quality piece of Kydex, good smoothed edges. It's going to have a little bit of roll to it. I don't know if you can tell that there, but it's going to have a little bit of roll to it on the sides to help it contour to your body. You can get, depending on what you want to do inside the waistband or outside the waistband, you can use the same holster. So I can carry this holster for a Glock 19 either inside or outside the waistband. I just have to get the appropriate hardware to go with it, and you can order all that right off their site. Good company, good quality, good customer service. The Kydex that I'm going to show you today is a little on the higher end of the price scale, but you get what you pay for. And why would you buy a $300 to $500 gun such as this Glock 19, or like my VP9? It could be a $600 to $700 gun or more, depending on where you get a good deal or get ripped off from. And then you go and you put it in a $20 or $30 holster. If you're gonna rely on that handgun to possibly save your life or the life of others, then you don't want to put it in a bad holster that may cause you issues drawing it or whatever. So just, you get what you pay for. Buy once, cry once, and you'll be all right. But Raven Concealment, great option for Kydex. They also have the Eidolon, strictly appendix carry holster. And to me, this is the best appendix carry holster on the market, bar none. There's really, as far as I know or have tried, there's really not many that are close. G-Code has the Incog, and I've heard great things about that. I just personally don't have one and haven't used one, so I can't recommend it. But a lot of reputable people do, so I could say check them out. But the Eidolon is absolutely awesome. It's been out over a year now, and I got to carry it in the prototype stages and was impressed from day one. The game changer here for me on this holster is a couple things, but this bump, if you can see this bump, which is a soft rubber-like material that's here on the back, and then this claw here. The claw is something that sits on the inside of your belt and pushes the gun in. So the idea here is the bump pushes the upper part of the gun into your body, and then the claw pulling on the belt pulls the gun in this way. So it's pulling it in and in, which makes it that much more concealable, and it's still comfortable. It's the most comfortable appendix carry holster I've had, and I would recommend no other appendix carry other than the Eidolon right now, except for the fact that they only make these for Glocks. That's my one issue with them. I've obviously got a Glock. This is the one Glock that I have. I'm not a Glock fanboy. I'm not against Glocks. Glocks are great guns. I just have other guns that I like, maybe a little more than the Glocks. So I wish they would make these for more models. That's a restriction. But if you have a Glock and you want an appendix carry, the Eidolon is absolutely worth the money. Okay, it's also got, with that, it's injection molded versus Kydex, so it's got just a really smooth draw, great retention. As all these holsters have great retention, because that's one of my requirements, is they have to have great retention in case I get into a scuffle. I don't want my gun popping out. Another option that Raven Concealment has is this little trigger guard bad boy here called the VG2. They got the VG1, the Vanguard is what it is. And it just pops on right on the handgun there. If you can see that, it pops right onto the trigger guard. It's got a loop here that your belt can go through, and it can sit. It's mainly for appendix carry as well. I do recommend this holster as a minimalist option, but I will say they only make these for the M&P and the Glock, and I will say that you do need to dry fire and train with this quite a bit before you depend on it to be a part of your life-saving tool there, because it is trickier to get used to. You don't want to try to reholster with this kind of holster here, but just make sure you're very careful and are proficient with your firearm and are very comfortable before you start using a holster like this. But it is one of my recommendations. Okay, so Raven Concealment, great company, know the guys there, great people, great customer service. Black Point Tactical. Okay, I also know the guys at Black Point Tactical, another great company with great people and great customer service. Now with them, one thing is, if whether you want to carry inside the waistband or outside the waistband, the holsters are slightly different. So you got to decide, do I want to be inside the waistband or outside? And if you can't decide, then you just buy both. But they are slightly different. It's not just a matter of changing out the hardware with the Black Point Tactical holsters. Okay, so Kydex again, great quality, nice smooth edges, very comfortable holster. So what's the difference? The difference is Black Point Tactical has added leather. So if you can see this, these pieces right here on the side are leather. They call it their leather wings, and it allows some flex there. And what I like about that is everybody's body is shaped a little bit differently, from male to female, from big guy to skinny guy like myself, you know, whatever the case may be, your body is shaped a little differently. And so the Black Point Tactical holster, as far as a Kydex holster, just edges a lot of the others out for me because of that flexibility. Now inside the waistband, same thing. You see these tabs right here, those are leather as well. Okay. And so you're going to get that flex. And so with your body, depending on your body shape, when you clip that thing in, it's going to kind of mold to your body a little bit, which helps hug the gun to you, keep it concealable, make it more comfortable, and all those kinds of things. Now Black Point Tactical also has a Appendix carry option coming that I'm actually helping them with a little bit in development, but I've got one. I didn't want to pull it out here today to show, since they haven't released it yet. But I believe it will be a great competitor to the Eidolon once it's kind of perfected and released. So to recap, Crossbreed, great company, really good holsters with the hybrid for comfort. Raven Concealment Systems, several options. The little Vanguard that I showed you, they also have an option that has the claw with it. I don't have one of those. They also have options that will work with a weapon mounted light. I don't have those either. But anything that Raven Concealment Systems puts out, I would highly recommend. Even this magwell right here on this Glock, if you can see that, that's made by Raven Concealment Systems. So they do branch out some. They also have an RMR mount, which I don't have. This is a Duick Defense mount here. But anything Raven Concealment Systems makes is good stuff. Black Point Tactical, again, great guys down in Georgia. Looking forward to seeing them around the NRA show this year. They're doing great things as well. Innovative company. Love those guys as well. So if you want to get a better view of any of these holsters, Crossbreed, RCS, Black Point Tactical, look up those websites. Go give them a look. The prices are going to be a little higher than what your buddy is making them out of the garage, but judge for yourself. Buy once, cry once. You get what you pay for. All those kinds of things. I'm a big believer in these companies. So for me, that's what I recommend. And if you want to hear more of, or see more of what I've got to say as far as equipment, gear, tactics, any of those kinds of things, I highly recommend going and checking out the American Warrior Society website. It's a membership site, so you're going to have to pay to get in there. There's a free membership. I think lasts maybe a week, month, something like that. Maybe a day, I can't remember honestly. But get on the American Warrior Society website. I highly recommend it. It is a cost, but the information that is on there is worth way more than what you're paying for the site. And also, go check out my website, www.chadraycoaching.com, and see what my stuff on there is mostly more towards the leadership, team building, that kind of side of the house. But I recommend going and checking my site out as well, obviously. And that's all I got on this. If you have any questions, hit me up, chad@chadraycoaching.com. You can find me on there. You can find me on Facebook, Chad Ray's Consulting and Coaching, or on Instagram as well, Chad Ray Coaching. on there. So hit me up, and remember, preparation equals victory.